Guys, I want to thank you very much for joining us on What's the Deal. There's so much legal stuff in the news. Most of the news is overpopulated with these left-wing theories that they kind of get away from legal and get more into opinion. The Mueller report did not exonerate the president. That's the thing that they're hanging their hat on. Judge, in your experience, is a special counsel like Robert Mueller charged with weighing in on exoneration?
My understanding is that he's not. First of all, I don't understand why we've reached a point in our history where we have to have special counsels to investigate everything. Whatever happened to the Attorney General and the U.S. attorneys to do their jobs in an unbiased manner? But now every time there's some sort of dispute, special counsel, we want a special counsel. I think he delivered what he had to deliver within the parameters of the charge that he was given. And if he goes beyond it, then he's going to be criticized the other way. So, and it gives everybody a little chance to read. I mean, now we have news for 2 more years while they argue over what the meaning of this is.
Sam, I made the point earlier in my open that I think, the left conveniently conflates these two things. Independent counsel, which was supposed to be responsive to the Congress, and the new law, special counsel, which Robert Mueller was charged under, which reports to the Attorney General as part of the Department of Justice. Is the left twisting this thing, or should Mueller have been charged with coming out and saying he's exonerated?
Well, I think the hard part is that everybody kind of forgot what the mission was as we waited for however many months it was, nearly a year, and there were lots of other indictments, and there were something like 2,400 subpoenas that were issued. So the report was enormously detailed. We haven't seen it. So we're still guessing what tomorrow's lottery numbers will be. And if I win, I'm not telling you guys what the numbers are going to be. But we're still kind of guessing because Barr has not yet released the report. Assume he releases the report, generally speaking, unredacted, we'll have a better sense of that. But to your point, I think we lost a little bit of what the original mission was. As we talked about it with nothing to say for so long, we ran out of topics and we just kind of started guessing where it was going to be.
I feel like when I look at our elected officials, some of them are veterinarians, some of them are lifetime politicians, and it seems now that Gerald Nadler and Adam Schiff are going to open up these whole new investigations. What makes them think that they can investigate this stuff better than the Department of Justice?
They have the power of subpoena, right? One of the things that I found amusing was on Friday, Nadler and several of the others we want this report right away. We need this immediately. Then on Sunday he comes out with the 4-page summary. They said, how could he put it out in 4 days? He must not have read it. So you can't have it both ways. And I think that goes a little bit to the disingenuousness of some of these people and the media and everything that that Trump does has to be investigated and is not kosher.
Can they investigate better than the Department of Justice with unlimited resources?
I don't know. I mean, it's a tough question. We did Benghazi for a long time after the Department of State did investigation. We did Ken Starr for a very long time after the Department of Justice did investigation. It is part of our nature. Part of our nature is the very public way that we'll either humiliate each other or we'll drag each other through the mud. And if we don't have a chance to drag each other through the mud, I mean, we're really missing a good opportunity here.
Yeah. The left says, well, he didn't weigh in on obstruction because the president can't be indicted. And there's a footnote in there where Barr says we didn't refer to that. In your view, can a president be indicted?
Yes, absolutely. There's nothing in the Constitution that says he cannot. And if he went out and he shot somebody, you could charge him with murder, 100%. He is not above the law, and that is a fundamental rule of our system. The Justice Department in the U.S. Attorney's Manual discusses whether or not there should be an indictment of a sitting president. That is a totally legitimate question, but it's not unconstitutional to do it. I also think, to take it one step farther, it's not unconstitutional for him to pardon himself, because the power of pardon in Article 2 says he has the power of pardon. It doesn't say for everybody else.
Let's go to the judge.
I think that's correct. But the political ramifications of that are what prevents you from doing something like that.
So in both of your view, the president can be indicted, but he can also pardon himself.
On federal things, I think.
Haven't they made a distinction that he can be, maybe he can be indicted, but they can't go through with the prosecution until the term was over?
Right.
Because everybody would. Every time we want to remove a president from office, well, we'll get somebody to bring a criminal charge against him. We'll find a friendly prosecutor,
right,
and we'll effectively paralyze
We'll get that prosecutor down in New Orleans who did the whole trial about whether or not Kennedy was shot by one or two people.